Hello, everyone. Yay! I got a hello back. Yay. Okay, I am Vivian Caethe. I have been tasked with introducing Kronda, and they have let me come up here with a microphone. My preferred pronouns are she and her, so if you see me throughout the town, that is how you may address me if you so desire. This is my 5th Anomalycon, and 5 Anomalycons ago, I would have had no idea to say that. Anomalycon has done a really good job of opening up the world to me. One of the cool things about steampunk is that it allows us to see cultures that aren't necessarily our own and grow from them. But Anomalycon has done this amazing thing where it's shown us what we can be as a culture and how we can grow from there. And it's just absolutely amazing. 5 years ago, I had no idea how to express myself as a bi woman. I had no idea how to stand out for myself, how to be an ally, and how to actually stand up in front of a bunch of people and actually make this speech. So this has been 5 years of amazing. 5 years that I can only say thank you to Kronda for, because they have done an amazing job with this convention. So let me introduce Kronda Seibert, our Dark Overlord and Commodore of the good ship Anomalycon.
All right, you guys can hear me okay? Yeah. How are you doing this afternoon, Anomalycon? Welcome to Anomalycon 2017, the biggest, the boldest, the brightest. Is that evidenced by these lights? Or is that your dazzle out there that's blinding you? It's the lights. It's got the lights. You guys have to dazzle a little brighter. I am so excited to welcome you all to 2017. I'm glad it's finally here. I'm probably not the only one glad it's finally here. I hope you've all gotten a chance to peruse the program, look at our mystery, maybe trade around some anomaly cards. I'm pretty sure some of them didn't even make it away from the registration desk before they got all their cards. How many of you pre-registered this year? Awesome. How many of you this is your first year at Anomalycon? Excellent. How many of you've been here since 2016? You already heard me do this on the video, so, right? Keep your hands up if you've been here since 2015, 2014, 2013, 2012, all the way back since year 1, 2011. All right, give yourselves a round of applause. It's because of you and people like you that we've been able to keep going for as long as we have. So, you know me as Kronda Seibert. Kai, Dark Lord of the Convention, Commodore, etc., etc., etc.
Our glorious leader.
Glorious leader is fine too. I answer to any variant of boss, typically, so that's fine. I'm dressed as Lucifer from Wicked plus Divine tonight, so if you're curious, this is an amazing comic. I highly recommend it. I figured it was appropriate to open the convention this year as a Dark Lord, literally. Son of the morning, something, something, something. Anyway, so a lot of you have probably read the newsletter, heard the rumors, and I am here to set those rumors to rest. Anomalycon 2017 is, in fact, our 7th year and also our last. So how many of you are in here because I promised not to leave a dry eye in the house? There's at least one person. All right, I'll take it. Somebody read my Facebook. So, I unfortunately had a lot of different things happening in our staff's life. Several people in my directorship had tragic events that took them out of the convention world entirely. A couple of people had to move for jobs. So that's why Anomalycon is closing. I'll be around all weekend to answer questions around that, but I'll answer the easiest ones from here. First of all, let me just quell some rumors. Anomalycon's not financially struggling. We've been successful since year 1. That's not why we're closing down. We're also not selling the concept of Anomalycon because we can't guarantee the legacy of intersectionality that we built up in anyone else's hands. People can say that they would take care of your baby, but you can't let somebody else have the baby, you know. Anyway, I'm sure that someone would like to start the rumor as well. Hang on, this is our language warning right now before I finish the sentence. I'm sure that someone would like to start the rumor that it's actually because our respect policy is too strict, or that it's because I personally am difficult to work with. Fuck no. I would say that because this is our last year, and I no longer have to preserve the fragile feelings of anyone who would like a free license to harass whenever they wish. So, Anomalycon has been here even when other conventions came out and said that marginalized groups did not deserve safe space, or that women did not deserve to costume without being ogled, or that we did not deserve to have a voice. So we've been here creating that tangible safe space, and I'm sorry to say that we are closing up shop, but we've only grown because of that safety net that we put into place. So anybody who says that to you, you can just tell them to take a hike, because we all know it's wrong, and they're just sad because they probably got banned for being jerks. Not that I'm thinking of anyone in particular. Somebody else been paying attention to my Facebook. So, I have a lot of good news, so that's good, right? I generally talk about lots of cool stuff going on, and I'm going to pull out my list for a minute to make sure I don't miss anybody, because I am super excited to tell you about all the guests I have going on this year. I have an amazing list. This is not 5 pages of list, it's only 7 pages of list. So I promise. All right. So, before I get to the guests, this year we are going to go ahead and clearance all of our past year's merchandise. So this is the best time to stock up on mugs, on t-shirts, on lapel pins. We're clearancing them for the cost, what it cost us to produce them. So please, take them home. Do not make me take them home. That would be a really true tragedy. So, let me tell you about Milton Davis, who was supposed to be with us last year, but Blizzard happened. He is both an incredible chemist and an author, and he puts together amazing authors and artists in his anthologies. Also, witness Tempest Bradford, who I'm going to pick on because Tempest is in the audience, whose indefatigable approach to encouraging the science fiction community and the internet to both be better people and also to read authors of color and get outside their box has earned the name Tempest. I'm really excited to say that Wesley Chu is here somewhere. Kung Fu Master. You cannot learn action writing from a better professor than one who can live their words. And then we have Zeta Elliott, visionary children's and middle grade author, who's here to, not literally here, but here to grace Anomalycon stage, who's also the author of Anomaly Card number 5. Hang on, I got this. Hey, I almost got the order. The insightful Emmy Jackson is back. He puts the apocalypse in post-apocalypse. He's the author of Anomaly Card number 1, which was illustrated by Jerry Mulawai. And he also authored Jet Spiel, which is the story that's in the newsletter and also in the paper, the program. And then we have Ariella Cristantina. You might notice her setup out there. She's a Marvel comic artist. She's all the way here from Jakarta, Indonesia. And she also does this really cool project called Insects, which is dark lesbian Victorian fantasy. Very cool. She's got some stuff out there, you have to check it out. It's amazing. Eliane is here as well, and I was drawn to her work by the words Persian steampunk. You can see her stuff out there. I think it's called, I'm gonna get the name wrong, I think it's the Silver Sickle, something to that.
Got the name right, congratulations.
Yay! That's important. And then we also have Ken Liu, who I have heard many people say is revolutionizing both Chinese and Western science fiction. And in addition to being both an incredible author and translator, he's also a programmer and a lawyer, and sometimes he even sleeps. I would like you to give the biggest, most thunderous applause you can for Mandem. Wait till I finish this sentence, though. One artist in several bodies. They're brilliant and beautiful and self-styled cripple punk, and they designed the amazing t-shirt art that you'll be enjoying all weekend. I would also like to hear you rattle your sabers for Shannon McGuire, who's the author of the... He's gone. Who's the author of like 20 or so incredible novels and also had a really miserable experience in Denver the last time she was here, so themed ever for her, so make her feel welcome. Woo! Great. Tonight and tomorrow, you'll all be joining Dr. Q, steampunk DJ of world renown, for some of the best tunes that have ever been spun in this town. The concert tonight will be upstairs on the 12th floor ballroom, great place, and tomorrow he'll be opening and closing the concerts. Also, we have some of our longtime fans might remember Kronda Seibert. If you were here in 2012. She's done a lot of stuff since then, including a story called Song, March of the Hollows, which stars some total unknowns like Nathan Fillion, Whoopi Goldberg, George Takei. Then we have Roberto Claus, whose biggest infamy is likely that he looks amazing in a suit of plate mail, but he also reads mean historical fantasy. And I'm also thrilled that Melanie Gilman is here. They refer to themselves as a queer tunist, and they're writing the new Steven Universe comic books. And if you ask how they could possibly be so talented, ask them yourself as you pick up literally everything they have, because they're amazing. Finally, I apologize in advance for the way I'm going to say this. Give it up for Stoneburner, also known as Ego Likeness, who will be starring in our concert tomorrow night. That's just our spotlight guests. Anomalycon would not be what it is if not for the dozens of authors and artists and also failed pockets that create great content and come under our banner every year. So I encourage you, especially since this is our last year, to get out there into Artist and Author Alley, make some new friends, pick up a new book, and develop some new favorites. There's some great people out there. There's some great people in here, because I dragged them in here. I mean, let's face it. I also have one more special mention. I mentioned that we lost a lot of staff, but I still want to recognize how much hard work goes into the on-site, behind the scenes, making everything great for all of you. Sometimes it's something like getting all of the authors and artists to and from the airport, which is a behemoth task, handled by Jesse Anderson and Stacy Hine. Sometimes it's keeping registration going and not stabbing anyone in the eye, which is something that Anna McDonald and Jamie McCurdy manage. Sudden death taking over of the vendor liaisonship, which is something Levi Watts did for us this year. Sometimes it's wrangling volunteers, which Gordon Feiner pretends to do. He's not in the room, or he'd probably throw something at me. Sometimes it's safety and security, which involves stalking around looking intimidating, which is something managed by Kayla Dicer and team. Some are less intimidating than others. Just so you know, anyone who's wearing a red sash is on our safety and security team, which means you don't have to find me if you have a situation. You can find someone with a red sash. I promise they will be able to help you. Probably.
Maybe.
Look, they're even volunteering back there. Good. And there's also the fact that my wife is literally the best con director wife ever, and if it weren't for her good graces, this convention would never have made it to the ripe old age of 7. I want to remind everyone that our respect policy extends to us, not just all of you. I know that none of you in this room would ever harass or abuse any of my staff, except me. I obviously would. But just remember that my folks are here doing everything in their power to make this perfect for you. And please extend them the same courtesy that you would like to be extended. Now with that sappiness out of the way, let's talk about a few more changes that we're making. First of all, this is the first year in Anomalycon's history that we won't have a video room. The reason for that is because Anomalycon has always had a video room that was themed with our theme. But this year's theme, motion and mobility. We sought movies and video stuff for several months. I viewed way too many things. Trying to find movies and shows that would represent motion and disability without leaning on the tropes of magical disability, and we found almost nothing.
Mobility. You keep saying disability.
No, I meant disability that time. Because I specifically meant disability as far as the movies are concerned. But the theme is motion and mobility because it sounds better. Anyway, we hardly found anything. It was like Mad Max. And that was like almost all we could come up with. So, and we even reached out to our extended network looking for things. But rather than violate our own respect policy with our movie room, we decided to have this conversation. So I want you all to remember this. Hold movies to a high standard. Expect intersectional representation. Demand it. Also, since this is our last year, if you have any lost and found items, we really need you to pick them up by 6 p.m. on Sunday from operations. Very important, even if they're iPods. Also, same thing for the art room. If you have something in the art room, you need to pick it up by 2 p.m. on Sunday. Otherwise, it becomes mine. Please do not use this as a way to give me gifts. I do not probably want your... Wait, let me rephrase that. It is not that I don't want your art. However, I would rather not have it become mine by attrition. There we go. That's all right. So, keep those things in mind. Folks, we understand that Anomalycon has become a place of safety and security for a lot of people, not just our original audience. We also understand that this is going to be potentially some hard years coming up. We've already seen a lot of hate in the world, and it's probably not going away. And so believe me when I tell you that no one is sadder than I am to say, come have a drink with me, one last time, before we teach you how to say goodbye. I said that with a straight face. I'm really proud of myself. So, I need my paper again. Because I have things written on this. It is easy to feel that the world does not want us, that we don't belong, or that we do not fit. And sometimes we're not incorrect when we feel that way. But I'm here to tell you that it's not that the world gets easier, and it's not that things get better necessarily. But the way of our universe is that our hearts tend to grow to make more room for the people and things that are going to leave holes behind. That might not be comforting, but maybe it is. But I want you to know that you are never truly alone. And not in a creepy way. Now you're in trouble if I ever stop tacking a joke onto the end of a serious statement. Then we're all in trouble. Hang on. The reason I'm shuffling through pages here is because if you're feeling afraid for your safety, or like you need somewhere to reach out to make a difference, there are a lot of different advocacy organizations you can reach out to. I'm the chair of the Arapahoe Young Democrats, which is a group that's focused on community outreach. If you're a white person looking to make a difference in the world, I recommend checking out SURGE, which is standing up for racial justice. Also, the local crisis hotline is, and these are in the paper and stuff too, so you don't have to panic if you can't write them down because it's talking fast. The local crisis hotline is 1-844-493-8255. Or you can also text TALK to 38255 to speak to a trained professional if there's anxiety or a concern about talking on the phone. That crisis hotline is good for domestic violence, good for suicidal thoughts, good for any situation pretty much. But in addition, the trans lifeline is 1-877-565-8860. If you don't need these numbers, chances are someone in your life needs those numbers, either right now or they will need them soon. If you've enjoyed your time at Anomalycon, a lot of you have been here more than 1 year. If you've learned something about the world outside yourself, then I encourage you to apply that to the world around you going forward. Now see, I still need my paper. Sorry. I had one more thing. Just kidding. Oh, there we go. If you're new to Anomalycon, you might not know this yet, but I'm a fairly vocal advocate for a lot of marginalized groups. If you're not new to Anomalycon, you may have perked a smile just now when I said the word vocal. It's like I have a reputation or something. So I encourage you to find me on Facebook. This is an invitation if you are interested in combating racism, homophobia, cissexism, ableism, fascism. If you're a person who wants to use your privilege for good, or if you need a support group or a support system, then I'll be here for you. Otherwise, forget about it. And I know that some of you are thinking, I didn't come here to be lectured. Obviously, you've never been to an opening ceremonies before, but also, it's the last year, so I can say what I want. And what I want to say above all else is this. I love you. All of you. You are more than you know. You have more power than you realize. I wrote Anomalycon as a love letter for all of you. For each of you. And now, as you go outside those doors and leave the warm embrace of my influence, and not in a creepy way, I ask just one thing of you. Be kind, my darlings. God damn it, you've got to be kind. Be kind to yourselves, and be kind to others. Take the sphere of influence that Anomalycon has given you as you go out, as you make friends, as you make connections, and apply it to the bigger geek world out there. Don't let the welcoming space we created die with us. But in the meanwhile, make this weekend the best, most powerful convention experience that has ever happened. Go. Tell your